ballet with pirouetting dancers choreographed by the forces of gravity. So when I look up, the universe is not only beautiful, but because I understand the physics of what's going on, it adds another dimension of appreciation for just being alive.
Mm.
People say, I don't want to learn the physics of the sun. I just want to appreciate the sunset. I appreciate the sunset, and I know the physics of how it makes energy.
Mm.
So I get to double dip on that joy.
Do you believe, and I've heard your answer to this question before, as far as do you believe in God, not do you believe in a unified field, a quantum field? Do you believe in an intelligence behind what's making the sun fire the way it does?
So
like what governs all that in your opinion?
Yeah, I'm not, so believe, that's an interesting word.
Mm.
When we use the word believe in modern society, typically it references something you think is true in the absence of evidence. Otherwise, you don't have to believe it, it just is. Or we just need more data to reaffirm it. Okay, so belief, I use only in the context of something you think is true without evidence. There's essentially nothing I run around thinking is true in the absence of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not how my brain is wired or how I've wired my brain to be. So I can be curious about whether it is true and try to devise an experiment or probe it or explore it or ask people who have had other experiences. I have no hesitation to do so. But to assert something that I don't otherwise have good evidence to think is true, I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
So about the universe, yeah, there are laws of physics that we measure here on Earth, and they apply across the universe. There's no obvious reason why that had to be true, but it is. The carbon atoms in your body are identical to the carbon atoms at the edge of the universe. They're identical. The whole universe is made up of 92 elements. Go into the cosmic kitchen, and there are there's your spice rack.
Mm-hmm.
92 spices, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, boom. There's life, there's humans, there's amino acids, there's planets, there's stars, gas clouds. That's interesting to me.
Mm.
So now, would I invoke that as evidence of some divinity that created it all? Well, proceed with caution there for the following reason. There was a day people referenced the universe and its unknowability as evidence of a creator. You look up at night, I don't know what those are, what the planet is doing this and back, retrograde, what? Well, of course you can't understand it. That's where God is. You can't understand the mind of God. You're human. So the fact that we did not understand any of that was invoked as evidence that God was there and we're here on Earth.
Mm.
So now you want to say, because we do understand it, and because there all are laws that manifest everywhere, you want to use that as evidence for God. That would be the opposite of what people previous to you had invoked as evidence for God. So I will say, I don't know why.
Have you?
I'm content. I am content in loving the questions themselves.
Uh-huh.
Because if you're not, then you got to find answers. Ask me what was around before the universe. Ask me that.
What was around before the universe?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
Okay? And we got top people working on that.
Uh-huh.
But if you need an answer, okay, then you say, well, God created it. I don't have a problem with you invoking that.
Uh-huh.
But if the day comes when we find out what created the universe, are you okay with that? Are you only putting God where science has yet to tread?
Huh.
Because if you are, that's a precarious place to stand, because then God is an ever-receding pocket of scientific ignorance.
Real quickly, have you ever had a mystical experience, something that you're like, you can't explain happened? And the reason I'm asking that, maybe you can tie this into your answer, can you, knowing the laws of how things work, can you bend reality? Can you make your goals, Neil, happen? Do you think you're sitting here because you were able to, I don't know if I can use the word manipulate, but do something to achieve what you have achieved? Like, how has this happened?
I mean, do I have power over the space-time continuum?
Do you have power over that to attract things to you? The law of attraction type stuff.
So a couple of things. This notion of a quantum consciousness field that permeates all of space and time, what is going on there, just so you know, is that human consciousness remains a brain frontier, a neuroscience frontier. We don't really fully understand consciousness. We're pecking away at it from the edges. One day we might, and that would be a beautiful moment. We don't know if consciousness is a natural consequence of the structure of brains with the complexity that we have. We simply don't know. Quantum physics is a highly predictive science, but there are things that happen in it that are just freaking weird.
Yeah.
Okay, the quantum entanglement, particles know about each other at infinite speeds, and that's weird. We don't understand the weirdness, even if we can predict what happens. What some people are doing is taking the weirdness of quantum physics, which we don't fully understand, and the consciousness, which we don't understand, and using them to explain each other. Mm-hmm. That's you're going to take this ignorance and that ignorance, and then believe you now have a new insight. That's not how this works.
So you're not buying any of that
stuff. Not at all. No.
So that law of attraction, The Secret, all that type of stuff.
No, what you can do is be ready for things that come. As they say, luck comes to those who are prepared. Mm-hmm. There's some saying such as that. You want receptors available to know when an opportunity stares you in the face. Mm-hmm. If an opportunity stared you down and you didn't even know it, you'll think opportunities don't come your way and you say, I'm not a lucky guy. If you had receptors for it, boom, there's an opportunity. And why say, oh, some guys got all the luck. No, some people are just simply prepared to see and know an opportunity when it arises. And the more diverse you are in who you know and what you know, the better able you are to take this bit of information and that bit of information and create something new. Something this is what is genius? Genius is seeing what everyone else sees, but thinking what no one else has thought. And that connection can only happen if you've got places to draw from to make a new idea reality. Mm-hmm. Now so you can say it's mystical, but I think I came up with a pretty good explanation for it.
Yeah.
And by the way, I had a book recently, Letters from an Astrophysicist, and in there, about 1 out of 6 of those letters are people communicating to me supernatural spiritual experiences, trying to get me to comment on it. So people come to me. Like I'm their best friend or something. They say, this happened to me, and I was at home, and something was floating in the sky. I talked with my dead father. I had a 2-way conversation on the slab in the funeral home. What do you think happened? And I'm going through all of this. And I say, and let me take that example. I say, I don't know what happened, but I'll tell you this. The next time you have a conversation with a dead person, don't ask him, oh, how are you feeling? Are you okay? No, ask actionable questions like, where are you? Like, are you wearing clothes? Do you eat? Well, where do you get the food? Who prepares it? Is it warm there? Do you see other planets? Get some turn it into a science project. Don't just sit and say, oh my gosh, I'm amazed by it. Oh my gosh, let me go tell the authority. No, turn it into that's what I would do. Steal its iPhone. Whatever.
All right, we got final